What's up, guys? Dylon here, and today I'm going to be talking about the SatPulse coins. So look at that thing right there, SatPulse coins. So like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into this video. So SatPulse coins, these are something that I'm extremely excited for. I'm like happy to have one in my possession today. I have a couple, but I'm happy to have them in my possession. This was a project that was launched by my good friend Patrick Hakeem, and the goal was to create a kind of a merging of precious metals and Bitcoin. So these coins are really unique. They come with a half ounce of silver in them, 0.75 ounces of brass, this custom SatPulse design right there. You can see it right there. Custom design. There's only 1,000 of them available. This one you can see is SatPulse coin 420. That QR code right there, it has this custom hologram on the back with the number of the coin, and that QR code is the public key of this coin, which stores 1,000 bits. And with Bitcoin's price today, it's about $27 worth of Bitcoin on this coin. These things are so cool. Just holding them in your hands, like seeing them doesn't do it justice. Holding this in your hand, it's pretty unique. Let me see if I can find my troy ounce of silver. So I have this buffalo nickel here. This is 1 troy ounce of silver, right there. And you can see the size comparison for you people that like coins and collect those. See the size comparison. The SatPulse coins come in these protective cases. Now they're not fungible like these buffalo nickels or these type of coins. This buffalo nickel that I have here, there's no like major identifying features to it. There's no serial code or barcode or anything like that. It's just silver. So the identifying thing is just the design on the coin. These SatPulse coins, these things are more collector's edition. So not necessarily something that you want to be spending. I don't necessarily know if you'll actually go out and spend these buffalo nickels, but these things are rare. There's only 1,000 of them made, and there will only be 1,000 ever made. These things sold out in about three days worth of promotion. Very little promotion on these things, just flew off the shelves. It was really amazing to see the interest for these coins. And I hadn't held one because they weren't ready, but we revealed these coins at the Silver Symposium in Las Vegas a week or so ago. And people that saw these coins, their eyes immediately lit up. They were really excited because one of the goals that we set out for this coin, and when I say we, I said Patrick, I just helped him sell these coins. I did some of the marketing behind these coins and helped him get these orders out. But one of the big goals was to bridge the gap between people who love Bitcoin, self-sovereignty, and people who like precious metals. A lot of times, like what I found is we have very similar ideals, right? We all like self-sovereignty. We all don't really trust the government. We all want to find and value real money. And Bitcoiners seem to think that oftentimes can be like critical of gold and silver and say, oh, that's not worth it. It's just gold's just a dumb rock. And then gold and silver people just say, oh, Bitcoin's not real. It's just some fake internet code or whatever, some scam online. And I think they're both wrong. I think there's a time and place for each of those things, for gold, for silver, for Bitcoin. They're all tools. And I believe they're all forms of money, and they're better forms of money than the fiat dollar that we all have. And that's why these SatPulse coins are so exciting. And that's why so many people, when they saw these, like immediately people who liked Bitcoin and really didn't know much or think much about gold and silver, they're like, I have to have this. So Bitcoiners, I have to get this thing. And then on the other end, you get people that were like, hated Bitcoin, hated crypto. And when they saw these coins, but they like gold and silver, when they saw these coins, oh my gosh, I get it. I want that. I wouldn't buy Bitcoin any other way. But if I could have this, hold this in my possession, they're like, yes, please. How can I buy more? Unfortunately, they were all sold out. These coins right here sold for $150 a coin, or they sold for about $135 for a roll. You could buy them in a roll of 10, so you got a little bit of savings there. And when you do the math on this coin, it's about a half ounce of silver, like I said. So let's just say 12, 13 bucks, depending whatever the price of silver is, not including any sort of premium. And then Bitcoin is about $27. So about $40 face value. And if you included the premium, it's going to be around $50. So they basically sold for 3 times the premium, 3 times the face value of these coins. Of course, there's the brass in here and all that, but 3 times face value. And there have been offers on these coins for up to $500 just for one of these coins. And now, this isn't financial advice. and I cannot predict the future. But I think there might be some more projects coming down the line that might have similar coins as this that will only serve to make these more valuable, because these ones won't be made again. These SatPulse coins are the first of this coin from these coin producers. And if they go and do other projects, that can only serve to enhance the value of this, because it spreads the awareness of these coins, and it shows people that there is a market for these, and you have more people looking for these. So what it'll do is increase the demand on these coins. And of course, I think when Bitcoin goes up in value, obviously the face value of these coins will go up. And I'm not just making this stuff up. There have been coins produced in the past. There's very well-known coins that have been made by physical Bitcoin coins that have been made by coin creators over the years. And if you look at the value of those coins, they have went up significantly. And certain coins that were released have basically turned into life-changing wealth if you hold them in your possession. One of the guys that came to speak at the event, Elias Ahonen, he wrote the encyclopedia. He wrote the book on physical collectibles, and he had quite an impressive collection himself. And so you could see in that book, so you can go check that out, on the different types of coins out there and their histories, how they're made, how they're created, the inspiration behind them. It's very fascinating, this industry. And I think it's just it's a very small market right now, very small niche market right now. But I think this is a market that's going to grow tremendously in the years to come, especially as I believe that Bitcoin continues to gain prominence and continues to go up in value. Because I think one unique thing about these coins, there's a lot of unique things, but one unique thing about these coins is that a rich billionaire could buy a Bitcoin. Right? Even if Bitcoin's $1 million a coin, a rich billionaire could buy that. But when there's only 1,000 of these, not every rich billionaire would be able to buy one of these, or even a couple of these type of coins. And so it's unique for Bitcoin. Now, there are people that out there will argue that it's a waste of time and money and resources to produce things like this, because you could, instead of paying $150 for this coin, just buy the Bitcoin, and you'll have, your purchasing power, and you'll be better off. And I can see that perspective. And in some situations, I wouldn't necessarily recommend someone spend their full Bitcoin budget buying coins like this unless you have a strategy behind it. Because, if Bitcoin goes up, if it doubles in value, and you spend $150 on Bitcoin, now you have $300 worth of Bitcoin. If you spend $150 on this coin and Bitcoin doubles in value, you have about $50 worth of Bitcoin on this coin. And then maybe the coin goes up, maybe it goes up double. We're assuming it doesn't go up double in that scenario. So then, therefore, you'd have more purchasing power with Bitcoin. But what happens with these coins is they demand a little bit of a premium to what they actually sold for, because that scarce supply, because they're collectors editions, and because people are natural collectors, people might actually pay more than double the face value of this coin. Like I've said, people are looking to pay, I've heard $500 offers for these coins because the person couldn't get enough of them, or they didn't get one and they wanted a coin. Or what will you buy? What will you sell it for? And so when you're in that scenario, you could have bought this for $150, and then someone offers you $500, which is more than 3 times of what your money is. And so in the case of comparing that to Bitcoin and buying Bitcoin directly, Bitcoin would have to go up 3 times. That'd put Bitcoin at $75,000, which would be a new all-time high, in order to make up for that difference. So there is opportunity here with these coins that you can increase your purchasing power well beyond what you could do just by buying Bitcoin. And just remember what I said is I wouldn't necessarily spend all your Bitcoin budget on buying coins like this unless you have a strategy behind it. But by buying coins like this and things like this, what's happening is you're also supporting someone building in the Bitcoin industry. You're not just buying Bitcoin. You're supporting a business. You're supporting a product, a service, something that is unique and is leveraging Bitcoin and is positioning it in a unique way for the market. Because like I said, there are people that would never have bought Bitcoin, would never own Bitcoin, if not for this coin, okay? So sure, you could say they should just buy Bitcoin, but they're never going to buy it. But they'd buy Bitcoin in this form. So the inefficiency of spending some of your capital on some non-Bitcoin assets, I think pays off, because what it does is it continues to educate people about Bitcoin, about the market. It continues to get Bitcoin into more and more people's hands, because that's a goal that us Bitcoiners talk about a lot, is just get off zero. And so it's helping more and more people get off zero. On top of that, you're actually locking up Bitcoin in these coins. If you see here, go back to 420 right there. There's a hologram. Then that's a tamper-proof hologram on the back of this coin. Okay. There's a private key behind that hologram. In order to get the Bitcoin off of this, that's locked up into this coin, you have to peel this up, and then you have to put the private key into a wallet and send the funds, which creates a couple problems. I've had some people ask about that. They're like, so how do I get the Bitcoin off the coin? I tell them that's how you do it, but you probably don't want to. Why not? Because it's $27 worth of Bitcoin. If you're really struggling for money, it's probably best to just sell this coin. You probably make more money just selling this coin. When you peel the hologram off this coin, you actually devalue it, and collectors are less willing to pay that premium for the coin, less willing to even pay face value for that coin. I think one of the only scenarios that this coin is worth more than $150 with a peeled background is one, if the total value of all the coins go up dramatically because there's demand for them. And then, so even just having a coin, even if it's peeled and Bitcoin is spent, it is rare. And because I've seen some coins, one of the coins that Elias had was a coin that was peeled. The back was peeled, but because it was a rare coin in general, it was still selling above what face value of that coin was when it first came out. So that scenario could happen. Or the alternate scenario is if like you're the first one out of this batch of 1,000 to peel the sticker off and send the funds from the coin. Okay, so if you are the first one to do that, or some rare coin, rare number in the set that happens to, then it might be worth more. Otherwise, you're actually making it worth less if you peel that off. You'd be much better just selling the coin as a whole to someone out there. On top of that, there's something that's happening in the Bitcoin space that really gained prominence or gained more attention this past year is something called ordinals. And when ordinals got onto Bitcoin, what happened was they filled up a lot of the Bitcoin block space. And when the Bitcoin block space gets filled, the cost to do a transaction goes up. And this isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it changes how you interact with Bitcoin. Because what happens is if the transaction fee on the base layer goes up, then certain quantities of Bitcoin, certain amounts of sats, become less and less desirable to send on the base layer, okay? And then what happens is what we generally call dust in a wallet. It's basically you have some sats in a wallet, some Bitcoin or fractions of a Bitcoin in a wallet, and you want to send it, but the fee to send it is greater than the actual Bitcoin that you have in your wallet, or the fee just destroys the amount of Bitcoin. So say it's 100,000 sats, and it costs 90,000 sats to send it. That's not a very good deal to send it from one person to another on the base layer of Bitcoin. Now, this is a potential problem that can be solved in the future, but it also is a problem that presents an issue for people that have digital wallets and things like that. You have 100,000 sats in there, and say that actually becomes substantial purchasing power in the future. You want to use it, but you can't move it on the base layer of the Bitcoin blockchain because it will just erode the entire value of that transaction. Okay, so you won't actually have that amount of purchasing power. What do you do? With a physical coin, when you have 1,000 bits locked up on this coin right here, you don't have to send it from wallet address to wallet address. You can just hand someone the coin. They can scan it. They can see that the tamper-proof seal is in place, that it hasn't been messed with. It can be verified on the blockchain. If that trust is in place, you can hand them the coin. It's verifiable, it's secure, and you can do that transaction without having to move the funds on the blockchain. So that this type of thing where you're locking up Bitcoin in this can be very useful in the future when base layer fees go up. And so while these are collector's items now, in the future, if they gain more purchasing power and are worth more, you can start using them for trade. And of course, you're primarily going to be trading with Bitcoiners, but I guarantee, I can't guarantee, but I bet my buddy who creates wine and sells his wine for Bitcoin wouldn't be opposed to trading trading some of his wine for this type of token, because it's a Bitcoin token, right? It has Bitcoin on it. He can verify it. There's value here. And so you can get into some of that bartering and high-end bartering and trading with some of these coins in the future. So it has that practical purpose for that if in the future the price of Bitcoin skyrockets and you can't do these smaller microtransactions on the base layer, you can use these coins to do that as well. And then one more interesting benefit that these things do is they actually are taking Bitcoin off the market, or they're locking up Bitcoin on a physical layer. People like to talk about layer 2 scaling solutions like Lightning, and Lightning is basically you're locking up Bitcoin on this like semi-custodial second layer, right? You're moving Bitcoin into the Lightning network, and that allows for liquidity for transactions to go. I'm not going to get into the complexities of Lightning. I don't understand it as much as I should. But you're basically moving Bitcoin to a higher layer. You get a bunch of transactions that happen on this higher layer, and then it's settled on the base layer in much larger transactions. So you can reduce the fees on that higher layer and also increase the speed of those transactions. Okay. If you move Bitcoin to a physical layer like this, you don't have scalable transactions like you do on Lightning, but you have practical transactions in the real world. Like I mentioned, me trading one of these tokens to my buddy for some wine, right? Or someone who does, a job for you, you can say, hey, this is something rare, or you can give it as a gift, anything like that, or you can keep it as one asset in your wealth toolbox that you have, and you can keep it safe, keep it locked up, and use this as a way to diversify how you're storing your wealth, which is a really cool thing to do with these. Now, I could ramble on about these coins all day. They're super excited. Just holding one of these things in your hand is really cool. I like to hold this buffalo nickel. I don't know. I just like the feel of the physical silver in my hand. It's just cool. It's just, for whatever reason, it's got a good weight to it. This buffalo nickel, this coin has a good weight to it. It just feels good in your hand. But anyways, where can you find them? Where can you learn more about these? The best thing to do is, because I said these are all sold out. If you have questions, let me know in the comments in the video below. But you can go to satpulsecoin.com and you can just sign up to the email list there, and you'll get notified for any sort of future coin launches, any sort of future events that we do, or products or services around these coins, or information on these coins. I highly recommend you sign up for those, because if we were to do a coin launch in the future, it will sell out, and that list that you can access from satpulsecoin.com is going to get notified first. We're going to send out an email notification to that list if we launch any other coins in the future, so that people that are on that list can take action and get coins, because I know there's people that wanted to buy these, but received the notification too late because of how fast they sold out, and they weren't able to. So it's a way to whitelist yourself, but also stay up to date. It also supports what we're doing here with Economic Preppers, and it helps us keep you up to date on what's going on in the industry, things that you should know about, things that you shouldn't know about, and of course, present potential opportunities like these SatPulse coins that we're going to come across, or we will likely come across in the future. So that is it for the SatPulse coins. Let me know if you have more questions about these and you want to learn more. I'd be more than happy to make some more videos. But that is it for this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.